like it, Johnny. Yeah, the melody was no problem. I had to struggle a bit with the lyrics, though. Yeah, well, I'm well pleased. Well, I'll sing you a... Mr. Dunbar. Be like that, then. Yeah, OK, Johnny. Yeah, I'll see you later. Yeah, ta-da. Right, I'm going town shopping. Do you want anything?
No, thanks. What are you getting?
Well, amongst other things, some razor blades. I owe Damon Grant one.
What's he got to shave his...
Keep it clean.
his legs.
For a minute, I thought you were going to say he shaves his eyebrows.
Oh, come on, Marie. It's a surefire winner. Human interest. Twin son sells bike to help finance a campaign to free innocent dad. Once it's in the paper, the money will start coming in, no bother.
It's too personal.
All the more reason for telling the world.
I wouldn't want George to find out that his kids had flogged the bikes because he's inside. It'd cut him up something rotten. He'd go up the wall, or over it.
Well, it's still only local news, and it'll bring in some much-needed cash, I guarantee it. George won't get to hear of it. And even if he did, the man would be proud of his sons.
He couldn't be more proud of them than he is now. George will get to hear about it, but not through a newspaper. I'll tell him.
Fine. I'll write and tell him today, and then I'll write the story.
No. I've told you. No story. It's too personal. You're not on.
Oh, come off it.
I mean it, Rick.
Okay.
So, what's our next move?
Well, painting St. John's Tower is a hard act to follow. It's nationwide publicity you want, but you've got to find the right target. Something that's happening in Liverpool that they'll get to hear about in London. Now, tomorrow, you'll have a heaven-sent opportunity to publicise the Free George Jackson campaign.
You on night shift? Yeah. You serious about decorating, Lark?
Yep. I'm going to try out a few colours and see what they look like.
Sooner you than me.
Really?
Pat's trying to be Bob Dylan circa 1985. A new colour scheme could invade his inner peace.
Oh, on the contrary. I am going to make this room into a musician's sanctuary. It'll make his karma calmer. Get it?
Very droll.
Oh, stop moaning. We all agreed to the redecorating. Democratic vote, remember?
I abstained, as far as I remember. So did Pat.
Well, nobody voted against it.
Oh, who's going to be paying for the paint and all that?
Oh, we are. The kitty.
I never voted for that. On the other hand, I never abstained either.
What time have you got to be back?
Give us a chance, I only just got here.
I wasn't meaning it like that.
Oh, what's you meaning? Tea's ready.
Yep. So who's your favourite delicacy? Come on. Oh, can you get them knives and forks,
Yeah.
please?
I'm sorry.
It's not that bad.
No, I mean, I've had a lousy morning. These beans are great.
Yeah, anything from a tin and I'm your girl.
Did you get much work done this morning?
A bit.
What did you do?
Applied psychology. Oh, you'd be fascinated.
Do you want me to test on it?
Not me dinner hour, thanks.
Hey, we haven't been to pictures for ages, have we?
Is there anything good on?
Easy enough to find out.
Fancy going sometime this week, then?
Yeah, OK. I might even buy you an ice cream.
I might even eat it. I've had every single one counted, so if there's one missing...
Evening all.
Hiya, Pat, come in.
I tried the tradesman's entrance, but it was a bit of a queue.
Oh, yeah, there always is.
Hundreds of men vying for your fair hand.
Do you practice these before you ring the bell, or what?
Oh. Oh.
Oh, you've forgotten the book.
Oh, yeah, sorry. Sandra's still ploughing her way through it, and as her lungs are in a much worse state than yours. But, there you go.
Oh, Damon will be chuffed.
All right, Andrew. Lunch hour, is it?
Dinner hour.
Are you hungry? Do you want something to eat?
No, thanks. I've just had me dinner. 10 out of 10. Congratulations.
So what time are you going to be back then?
Right now.
So I wouldn't let Rick write the story about the twins selling their bikes. I told him.
Get on his bike.
Yeah. Now, he still reckons that we need something spectacular to follow up painting St. John's Tower. And it just so happens... Are you listening to this, you two? It just so happens that tomorrow a government minister's coming to Liverpool, and he reckons that we should do something that this government minister fella will see.
And get us on News at 10.
Yeah. Well, I don't know about that, but at least something that'll get us national publicity.
Pity it's not that you're coming.
I've written to her about George.
Waste of a stand.
She's a wife and mother and all. We've got that much in common.
That and sweet F.A.
It's worth a try. I've written to them all. Thatcher, the Home Secretary, the Queen, the lot.
But he's right, Mum. She's got to try everyone. So we should be doing something to make sure everyone knows what she's talking about.
Right. So come Ed, you two. You're the think tank. Well, have you got any ideas? Great.
Well, think of something, you pair of gawps.
Is he arriving at Lime Street, like?
No, the airport.
Do you want the 6 o'clock news?
No. I think I'll wait for the 7 o'clock on Channel 4. It's slightly less biased.
Slightly, yeah. Well, you can tell Pat has his boot back.
Okay.
Smoke ring, the politics of tobacco. I think he wants to leave it to Carlingalan.
That's nice of him.
Yeah, well, I think he sees it as part of his anti-smoking crusade.
Is it any good?
It's a choker.
Well, what do you think?
Well, it's certainly different.
Well, it's meant to be. You see, we're going to have that colour on that wall, that colour on that wall, and the other two, well, I don't know.
Do you think Pat's going to like it?
Oh, he's got no choice. We like it.
Oh, I'll reserve my judgment till I've seen it finished. Anyway, I'm going to have to go or I'll be late. I'll see you tomorrow.
Oh, what time are you in the morning?
7.
I wouldn't mind a cup of tea in bed.
Sure thing, dear. If I make you a cup of tea, I'll pour it all over your head. Cheerio. Bye.
Hey, come, Ed, let's get serious. That minister fella's only going to be here a few hours.
Too bloody frank to stay longer.
So it's got to be effective. And an airport's a big enough place.
Right.
Hey, me and Marie is not doing a streak.
No, we want someone to get noticed.
It's got to be something big.
Bigger than St. John's Tower.
That's right.
Hey, how about the suffragettes? We could chain ourselves to summit at the airport, the minister's helicopter.
What good at that do?
Well, he couldn't fly away if one of us was holding on to it.
No, they just saw through the chains. It's not dramatic enough. The big one's throwing yourself in front of a horse. And before you even think of throwing yourself in front of a helicopter, don't. I'm not having anyone getting hurt over this. George would only blame himself. And he is the one we're trying to help, so let's just remember that, eh?
No one's going to lose sight of that, Lily.
Hey, come on, Betty, let's shift these. So, whatever we do, it's got to be safe, it's got to affect the minister, and hopefully attract national publicity. Perhaps we could just pass out leaflets.
Oh, we can do better than leaflets, love. My lads will think of something. Won't you, lads? I said, won't you, lads?
I guess stuck into that later. I just made tea, fancy a cup.
Yeah, I wouldn't say no.
Get your coat off.
Yeah, don't mind if I do. Hey, I might even go to your loo as well.
Well, you know where it is.
Right.
Hello. like?
Radio on?
Yeah. I've just made tea. Do you want a cup?
Yeah.
Did you come straight from where?
Yeah, I thought I'd pop round, you know, to say I'm sorry for walking out at dinner time.
Well, that's okay. In fact, I'm glad you did.
We friends again then?
Made you a cup of tea, haven't I?
So, what's the chance of a kiss then?
Reasonable.
Yeah, I thought we know.
3 cups.
Oh, yeah. You didn't tell me he was here again.
You didn't ask.
He's here and he's got a name. It's Pat. So let's cut out all the references to me in the third person, eh?
Sorry, I didn't realise I was interrupting you two again.
You're not interrupting anything.
What do you mean, interrupting again?
Look, I was just on my way out.
No, you were just about to have a cup of tea. Drink it. Well, I'm waiting.
Well, it seems like every time I'm here, so's he, Pat.
I know, you'd better stop meeting like this. People are gonna talk.
Look, I just came over to give Karen a book, which I promised her. That's all.
Look, you don't have to explain what you're doing here.
I want a word in private, please.
OK, I'll go. No sweat.
You'll drink your tea.
Karen, I want a word.
Is this your house? No. I say who comes and who goes, and I'm not having the likes of you telling my friends and neighbours what to do.
I'm going. I'll see you when he's not around.
All right, Andrew.
Great, thanks, David. Just great.
Hey, Pat.
Hi, Damon.
Hey. Have you two just had a row?
Sort of.
Oh, shame we missed it. And that means there's a cup of tea going spare. You? Don't worry about it, he'll be back.
Yeah, I think he will.
Not bothered about him. I'm not going to go chasing after him.
So, how's life with Pat then?
Fine, thanks. How's life with Damon?
Well, it's funny you should ask me that.
Oh, he's after something.
Oh, yes. Isn't a 10-year supply of razor blades enough?
One razor blade, yeah. That's funny.
Well, it's the thought that counts.
No. What I need is some advice about my career, mainly because I haven't got one.
Yeah, we'll join a club.
See, last week I wrote away for 9 jobs. I lied about my qualifications, said I had 7 O-levels. I got 1 reply, the old Xerox thanks, but no thanks. I mean, how are you supposed to get a job without qualifications if you can't get one with qualifications?
Yeah, well, with most of the jobs I've had since university, I've had to deny having qualifications. You know, the bosses think that if you're well-educated, you're going to get bored and jack it in.
So what would you do? I mean, I'm going around the bend on the SS, and I've only been on a dole a few months. Some kids have been on a dole for years.
Well, have you tried the little firms as well?
I've tried them all.
Yeah, well, I do a bit of vegetables on the side. You know, my own little cottage industry. Or to help supplement my humble porter's wage.
And what I need is someone to help supplement my humble supplementary benefit.
What, and get caught like Matty did?
Matty's a mate of my dad's, got caught by the SS sloops. No, nothing too dodgy. Not like our Barry.
Better not be neither.
Yeah, nothing full-time, just something on the side. Yeah, well, I don't pay tax on my vegetable profits. Well, it's happening all over the country. Everybody does it if they can.
You got to. I mean, you can't live on the SS, can you?
This government's not interested in getting me a job. The caring party, they couldn't give her monkeys. I mean, all I want is a job. It's not too much to ask, is it?
Let's make this minister's visit one to remember, eh?
Oh, my lyrics are gone.
Well, you should have said last night.
It's not just the lyrics, Kate. There was an important phone number next to them. You had no right to paint it without consulting me and Sandra. Democratic decision-making process and all that.
There was no talk of democracy when it came to doing the work on this place.
Yeah, but stripes, I ask you.
Come on, it's not going to be stripes. I was just testing the colours.
Yeah, well, they're all... Ugh.
Frankie says, relax. Give your heart a rest. Have a bowl of muesli.
Yeah, well, I want bacon and eggs.
If you want a cardiac breakfast, there's plenty of greasy spoons in town.
Especially bacon. Lots of it swimming in thick grease with curled up rind that you can snap off and chew.
Your heart attack is just a bucket of fried chicken away. Cheers. How many times are you going to do that? Because if you're trying to impress me, I am not impressed.
Yeah, well, it shouldn't come out of the kitty. The paint, I mean.
I was waiting for this one.
Yeah, well, me and Sandra didn't want it painted.
Nobody voiced an objection.
And even if you decided to go ahead without our approval, the very least you could have done was to agree with us on a colour scheme. God, I've got the smallest room in the house, which is why my lyrics get scrawled on the wall here. If I had a bigger room like yours or Sandra's, they'd get scrawled on my own wall. But this paintwork, oh, I mean, this is a communal area. If it was your bedroom, all well and good. But it isn't, and we don't approve. So that's why you should pay for it.
Finished?
And another thing, I don't see why my kitty contribution and Sandra's should be increased just because you decide to paint this all different colours.
You were the one who said you wanted to share with us. You were the one who agreed to split all communal costs 3 ways.
Kay, I said that if
No argument, you said. The trouble with you, Pat, is that you want to be all things to all people, and you're finding that a little bit difficult. The reason for that, in my opinion, is that you're just a bit too careful with your money.
I give you and Sandra lifts to the hospital, maybe 3 or 4 times a week. And not once do I ask you for a contribution to my petrol tank.
Ask and you shall receive.
Yeah, and another thing. You always buy in bulk, which is why there's nothing left in the kitty from one week to the next.
But it makes economic sense to buy in bulk.
Yeah, but it's never bacon, is it?
Vegetarian food costs less.
Yeah, well, what about the wholemeal biscuits?
You're the only one who eats them.
You know, after a hard night tramping the wards, it's so nice to come home to such a quiet, peaceful house. You can hear you two at the far end of the close.
Yeah, well, I better get going. I'm going to be late.
See ya.
Pat!
What? Me lyrics? You vegetarian?
Loads of lyrics anyway, Pat. Hope you're not going to try and sell them.
Good bleeding bye.
What's wrong with Bob Dylan?
Men.
So, what do you think of the plastic bags lock, then? You still game?
Hey, too right I am.
It'll boost your dough money, all right.
You can do more than that, Neil.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, this fella you buyed him off, right? He's a cowboy. Con man.
Billy the Kid and half a daily all rolled into one.
Well, how much do you make a week on average, like?
10, maybe 12. Sometimes it's as little as a 5, especially if I'm selling to pensioners, like. Can't have them paying full price now, can you?
No. Not if they haven't got 2 8 to rub together. Well, this Billy the Kid, where does he get the plastic bags from?
I could find out.
See, we could work for ourselves, buy direct from the wholesale, and then sell them ourselves. If it works, we could set up in business. Grant and Wilson, Plastics Limited.
Wilson and Grant?
Yeah, all right, we'll see. We've got to get hold of this wholesaler.
Hang on, Dame. Aren't you forgetting something? Every business needs a bit of cash to get going. I've got slightly less than 50% of nothing.
Look, I've thought of that. There's this fella lives across the road, Pat. He's okay. I reckon he'd lend us a few bob.
Where's the biscuits?
All right, in a sec. How many of these bin liners do you have to buy all in one go?
It's gotta be 1,000 at least. That'll cost you 35 quid.
Cost us. So we sell them 5 for 30p.
In other words, we lay out 35 quid and bring home 60 if we sell them all.
How much do you reckon you can lay your hands on?
10.
This is a potential gold mine. All we've got to do is dig.
And dig deep.
I reckon I can sub Pat for a few bob. Maybe the whole lot.
Nothing to lose, have we?
Only our dole cards.
They wouldn't do anything stupid, would they?
Oh, only if it can be seen on national telly.
Yeah, but they wouldn't do anything dangerous, would they?
Them two flew the coop years ago, love. They do as they see fit. Right, have you got everything packed, love?
Yeah, got all the scoff here. Your lads will be starving by the time we get there.
You can say that again. They can eat 5 square meals a day and still have room for a couple of sandwiches, them two. There's a pair of gannets.
Yeah, Gary and little George are just the same. They could eat a horse and chase the jockey. Hey, well, come on, love. We can't stand here jangling all day. We're gonna miss Minister. Take this helicopter to St. Helens.
I won't put it past him.
Oh.
Well, what can I do you for?
I was wondering whether Pat was in.
Well, the good news is Pat was in. The bad news is...
He's gone out.
Give that man a teddy bear.
Very chirpy for this hour of the morning.
Oh, I've at least done 4 hours work by now. Well, just gone to bed after a long, long night, like Sandra is now.
Was she in bed?
Yeah, in deep slumber. I've got a day off, so I'm making myself useful, as you can see.
Don't you find this a bit of a bind, all this?
Oh, no. I find painting very therapeutic, actually.
Yeah, well, no, so do I. But I mean, not when you're stuck in on your own all day.
Oh, you're never alone with Radio 4.
I do a bit, you know.
Do you? Do a bit of what?
Painting and decorating. I'm really good.
Make yourself useful.
Well, am I being roped in here?
Yeah, you've been roped in.
Oh, all right then. Hey, you've got most of the gear here, but there's one thing missing.
Oh, what's that?
Plastic bags. You could do with some to put the rubbish in.
He's late.
They get paid to keep people waiting.
It's here!
I like you. So what I take like.
Oh, thank God you two are still in one piece. What have you done?
I think the minister's just finding out. We did it because George Jackson's in it.
Listen to me, you! Listen to me! George Jackson's my husband, and he's in jail for doing nothing. He's been framed by a villain called Tommy McCardle. Free George Jackson! Free George Jackson! Free George Jackson! Free George...
Hi.
You're early.
Just a fleeting visit. Got a meeting in an hour. What are you doing?
The Walton Green Residents Association have their AGM and they want me to do the catering.
This evening?
Afraid so.
Anna, I need to eat.
Oh, there's something in the fridge.
All right. May I ask where you've been?
Today?
No, for the last few months.
Oh, I couldn't work. Someone pinched me ladder.
Well, couldn't you replace it?
What with? No ladder, no work, no work, no money. No money, no ladder. All right.
Well, where did this one come from?
A 10 pence each way yank.
Well, you can stop that right now.
Eh?
Well, since we've seen neither hide nor hair of you for the last few months, we've made alternative arrangements. John Ellis.
Beg your pardon?
John Ellis, he's pinched my round, hasn't he?
It is pinched around. We do our own windows from now on.
She never said anything.
She?
Your missus.
She happens to be Mrs. Collins. Thank you very much.
Well, Mrs. Collins didn't say anything.
And did you ask her?
What for?
Well, this may seem astonishing to you, but before you do any work for anybody, it's wise to ask if they want it doing.
She didn't say she didn't want it doing.
Has she told you she doesn't want a new roof? Then why aren't you up there ripping off the tile?
Where is this meeting?
In a pub. Couldn't you have told me about this?
I didn't know myself till this morning.
Why didn't you tell me this morning?
Would it have made any difference?
It definitely would. I'd have had a hot lunch instead of a mini sandwich turning up at the corners.
Get something hot in the pub.
Look, you can stop that right now because you're not getting paid for it. I'm certainly not going to start eating pies and drinking pints for dinner.
Once in a while won't hurt.
Once in a while, Anna. It's becoming a habit. I thought this was a hobby with you, not a magnificent obsession. Is this it?
Yes.
Volleyball?
Yes.
Left over from this Residents Association's bean feast, I suppose.
You'll have to heat them up, though.
Look, I've done a full day's work. I've gone to a meeting that could possibly drag on all night. And all I've had to sustain me is a bowl of muesli this morning. Stale bread and lettuce for lunch and now a few miserable vol au vent for an evening meal.
You'll get something in the pub, dear.
Yeah. We're going to have to talk about this, you know, Anna. I thought I told you to stop this.
Look,
We'll talk about it later tonight when I get back.
you told me to stop when I was on the last window anyway.
Oh, forget my not noticing, but upstairs is hardly gleaming.
Oh, don't you start, no. Look, just pay me for this one and I won't come back, all right?
I'm not paying you for work I didn't want doing.
Did you want these windows doing, love?
Of course I
Look,
do.
this man comes when it suits him. I'm sure we can do much better on our own.
Have you got time to do the windows?
Of course I haven't got time.
Neither have I.
But £1.
My wife employs you. My wife can pay you.
This came today.
What is it?
I've been offered a place. Lancaster.
Oh.
Sounds good. You know, modern and that. It's only a couple of miles from the lakes. I could go fell walking.
Do you like fell walking?
I don't know. I've never tried it.
And what are you going on about it for?
I'm not going on about it. I'm just saying, that's all.
You can live here and go fell walking. It's only a couple of hours on a bike.
Look, I want to go because it's a good university. It's got nothing to do with the fell walking.
Look, you were the one who brought her up. You were the one who said you could go fell walking.
Look, forget about it, eh?
Look, what's wrong with Liverpool University?
Oh, God, not again. You can't just pick and choose. You know, it is difficult to get in.
Yeah, but you've got in this one, haven't you?
Conditional, it says. It depends on my A-levels.
Yeah, but apart from that, you got in, so if you can get in this one, you can get in Liverpool.
Oh, God, it doesn't work like that.
You don't have to go, you know.
What?
You don't have to go at 18. Someone was telling me you can go when you're older, you know, as a mature student.
How am I? How mature?
Dunno. 25, whenever you like.
Oh, and what do I do when I'm 25?
You get a job.
Oh, yeah, sure.
Look, degrees don't help. There's loads of people with degrees on the dole.
Yeah, and there's a lot more without them. Look, Pat
What?
reckons if... Pat. He reckons if you got a degree, it's always there to fall back on.
Does he?
Yeah. Where are you going?
For a walk.
The name George Jackson flashed across the nation's TV screen last week when a helicopter carrying the Secretary of State for the Environment was forced to divert from Speke Airport because the words "Free George Jackson" were painted across the tarmac. On behalf of Independent Radio News, I went along to see George Jackson's wife, Marie, at her home. Okay.
Yeah.
Mrs. Jackson, who did it? Who actually painted those words?
I'm not prepared to say.
Friends?
Well, just some people who know as well as I do that my George is innocent.
But aren't they afraid of going to prison?
They're more worried about George being in prison.
Do you think it did any good?
Oh, yeah, because...
Mum's all ready to start missing.
Shh!
What are you doing?
Just go away, will you, George?
What are you doing?
Gin and tonic, I suppose.
What makes you think that?
Well, not wrong, am I?
As a matter of fact, you are. Half a bitter, please. I'm a few minutes late. Sorry.
Oh, well, I apologise. The royal prerogative, isn't it?
I suppose you never miss a chance, do you?
What?
Pointing out exactly which sides we're on.
Not if I can help it.
We'll go from, do you think it did any good, right?
Oh, yeah, because it was seen by a lot of people, and the more that know, the better.
Are you going to continue with the campaign?
Oh, aye, yeah.
For how long?
As long as it takes.
So, how will the campaign develop? What else have you got up your sleeve?
Plenty. But first, the petition. Thousands of names on it. We're going to take it to London and deliver it to number 10.
Can I come?
George.
Oh, go on, I've never been there.
Upstairs.
What for?
Interrupting. Upstairs, now.
But can we come?
No.
It's not fair, we can never go anywhere except...
Out!
Have you eaten?
I did grab a bite, yes.
Let me guess.
Oh, please don't. You'd be wide of the mark.
These are very good.
I'll take your word for it.
Right, then. Shoot.
Right. I haven't come here to unfurl a white flag, you know.
That's obvious.
But there's a couple of things. One's the forthcoming wage award.
Hey, you're not serious.
Oh, yes, I am.
Look, Mr. Collins, we've long established very elaborate machinery for wage negotiation. I'm certainly not going to discuss it with you in the corner of a pub.
Come on. You know as well as I do exactly how much you'll get. 4.5% in line with the award at Eurochem. It's the same every year. I know how you can get more.
How much more?
An extra 1, possibly 1.5%. This could be a big feather in your cap. Half your members are questioning the value of union membership. They know as well as we do that it's the Eurochem award that determines their award. It's the Eurochem men that fight their pay battles for them, just as Ford set the rate in the motor industry. You can alter all that. You can be the first convener to get Petrochem members an award bigger than Eurochem.
An extra 1 to 1.5%?
Yes.
Well, that means 2.5 to 3.
Not in this case.
Right, you said there were a couple of things. The other one, presumably, is the catch.
No, not a catch. Just a perfectly simple request. How'd you better?
Orange juice, please. I never drink.
Windows.
How much?
£1.
Just a minute, you.
What?
I think you better come in.
Is your old man in?
Nobody's looking for you.
Well, he probably owes me money. I lend all kinds out.
No, you robbed our Barry's ladder.
Oh, behave.
Yes, you did months ago. That's why you haven't been back since.
I haven't been back since because it was my ladder that got half-inched.
It wasn't your ladder, it was our Barry's, and he robbed it back again, see? Funny front.
Look, will you give us £1 and I'll go away?
No.
Look, I've done the windows and I want paying.
Well, if you want paying, see me, Dad. He's dying to see you.
How is it that every time I do the windows around here, I never get paid?
Probably got something to do with you being a robber.
Hey, are you on your own?
Why?
Oh, I'm not going to leap on you. Are you on your own?
For a minute or two, yeah?
Well, have I got something to show you, girl?
Right, let's have it then. This perfectly reasonable request.
Put a stop to these rumours.
What rumours?
Put a stop to these rumours.
Brothers and sisters, I'm happy to announce that Paul Collins does not take bribes, and is bribing me to tell you all this. Just a minute. I don't take bribes.
So you've said.
I don't take them. And I'm not going to turn down an extra few bob for me members, right? How do we get it?
Put a stop to these rumours?
Very next news sheet. I'll get it signed by all stewards. Total repudiation of everything, all right?
Getting rid of our own maintenance team using outside contracts, well, it'll save the company a hell of a lot more than many people realize. I could put it to the board that your members will get, say, an extra 1 to 1.5% for the sake of a smooth transition.
Is that it?
Yes.
Let me put back to you what you just said, Mr. Collins. I let you sack some of my members, the maintenance team, and that saves you a fortune over the next 10 to 15 years. You'll give a fraction of that fortune to the members who remain and expect them to be eternally grateful for it.
That's not what I said.
I think it was.
Look, I'm not asking your permission to sack anybody. The maintenance team will go, full stop. That is not a matter for negotiation. What is for negotiation is the manner in which they go. Peacefully. And everybody will get something out of it.
Except the maintenance team.
Yes. And allow for early retirement. Casualties will be minimal. Everybody will benefit. Especially you. You'll get the feather in your cap. But if it's noisy, rumors about bribes from Woodward and Lynch, counter-rumors, disruption, you'll get nothing. What's the joke?
The joke? You are.
£22 gold.
Yeah, and digital.
How much?
£3.50.
A 22-carat gold watch for £3.50.
Yeah.
It's junk.
Hey, for God's sake, you don't treat a watch like that.
Why? 'Cause it'll fall apart 'cause it's made of tin.
It's 22-carat gold.
I'll see ya.
£2 then.
Sinbad, I've seen them for £1.50 down Great Ormond Street. I'll see ya.
Sit down.
I'll tell you one of the funniest things that happened to me. It's my first time in theatre. The surgeon, Mr. Nugent, oh, what a swine, had a big wart on his eyelid. But anyway, he said to me, plastic bag.
Oh.
I haven't got a clue what's going on. So I fetched the bag, and he said, not like that, girl, open it. So I'm fumbling trying to get the bag open. Oh, I'm really nervous, and everybody's tutting away. Well, eventually, I get the bag open, and then in it goes a man's leg. Oh, I nearly died.
Man's leg?
Yep, it was an amputation.
Are you all right?
Of course. They do that to most nurses their first time in the operating theatre.
Well, throw a leg at them.
No, I mean, whatever the off is. They always try to do something to make you sick.
What a marvellous sense of humour you've got. Hey, do you want to jack this in yet? No, carry on.
Damon, why are you doing this?
Told you, haven't I? Just giving you a hand.
Yes, but why?
Just want to. No ulterior motive?
No.
Well. Oh, here we go. Well, you see, as I've done all this work for you, I don't want you to give us anything. I was wondering whether you could lend us something. How much? 25 quid. What for? Well, for 25 quid, I can buy a load of gear and sell it for about 50. What sort of gear? Oh, I don't like to say right now. Come on, Damon.
What is it you're buying?
Plastic bags.
All right. All right. You don't recognise me, do you?
Damon Andrews.
Sinbad. I do the windows in Brookside Close.
All right.
You go, what's the name? Oh, Bobby Grant's girl. Karen. Karen, that's it, yeah.
Don't know who goes with him.
Over at Hanach?
Yeah.
Someone else. Yeah, that happened to me once. I was sick as a parrot for days. Then I just got up and sorted out the other fella. Gave it to him straight. Bought her a little present. And everything was sound as a pound after that. Give it to them straight, it's the only way.
What happened to her? Who? The girl?
Oh, engaged. Been engaged for years.
Is that what your boys are like? An engagement ring?
Not a watch. Funny enough.
If you two don't stop that racket, I'm going to be up there and tan your backsides that hard that you won't sit down for a week.
Where were we?
Oh, thanks. You were saying that Mrs. Thatcher will understand because she's a wife and mother too.
Oh, yeah.
Right, well, I'll just ask Betty a few things and then I'll come back to you. Right? Betty Hughes. First of all, thanks for making the tea.
You're welcome.
You've known Mrs. Jackson for some time now.
Years. We used to dodge the rent man together.
And you're involved in this campaign?
Yeah.
You looking forward to the trip to Downing Street?
Yeah.
Do you think it'll do any good?
I hope it will.
But do you think it will?
No.
Bessie?
Well, what good has that woman ever done for the likes of us?
Well, Mrs. Jackson was saying that the Prime Minister is a wife and mother too, so she'll understand.
Understand? There's millions of parents and kids on the dole that wish she could understand.
Oh, we can't use this.
Betty, how do you think this is going to help my George?
I'm sorry, Marie, but I'm not going to lie. I'll come with you to London, 'cause you're my mate. I'll even smile when that woman comes to the door, 'cause you are my mate. That's all I'm saying.
Is it knock off?
Behave.
And how come it's only a £5?
Well, I've got contacts, haven't I?
And it's gold?
Pure.
And how come it hasn't got some kind of mark on it?
A hallmark? What do you think that is?
That's a hallmark.
Of course.
Look, I haven't got a £5 on me, but I'll give it tomorrow.
Yeah, well, you can have the watch tomorrow as well,
I
can't you?
want to see it tonight.
Well, it'll have to be tomorrow instead, won't it? She'll love it.
I don't think you've been doing your homework, Mr. Collins.
I wouldn't say that.
It's funny, when a manager sits down and looks at a grim set of figures, his immediate response is to sack people. But sacking people just makes the figures worse. It costs money to sack people. You know something? In the last 5 years, one of the biggest items of expenditure for British industry has been redundancy payments. Not so frightening, it'd be funny.
I think you'll find it makes the figures worse for that year only. Long term, it's sound economics.
Thank you. I doubt if Petrochem could meet the kind of redundancy terms my members would expect and still pay me surviving members the 1.5% Judas money.
Can't be serious. There is a limit to our resources. What do you think we are, the National Coal Board?
I don't think you're quite as bad as them. You just want to destroy jobs. They want to wipe out whole communities. Well, it seems the rumours might continue.
Mr. Peterson, I hope not to have to resort to these tactics, but you leave me no alternative. I have been doing some homework.
Yeah?
And I've learned 1 or 2 things about your past.
That's not homework, Mr. Collins. That's snooping.
It's fighting fire with fire. You used to work for Woodward and Lynch.
Yes.
And you were sacked for brawling on the shop floor.
Was I?
Now, how would your members react to that? Using them to further your personal grudge against an ex-employer.
How would they get to know? Shall I tell you something, Mr. Paul bloody Collins? I'm not annoyed at the fact that you're stupid. You can't help being stupid. It's knowing that someone as stupid as you should even try to act clever. Homework? Don't try to talk to me about homework, Mr. Collins, because I've done mine. I know all about you. You're a man with no future, managing a jumped-up bottling plant that's got no future either. And if you think the Petrochem board are going to risk a total stoppage just to back one of your harebrained schemes, then you're not just stupid, you're mad. Good night.
Pat!
Keep your hair on.
Pat, you're wanted.
Oh, all right.
Hiya.
What can I do for you, mate?
Can we talk?
Oh, yeah, sure.
I mean, just us.
Come on, Damon. You go upstairs and I'll show you my etchings.
There you go.
Thank you.
You know, she's crazy over me.
Get up there.
Do you fancy a cup of tea?
No, I've been walking down thinking.
Let's hear it, then.
Where do I start?
The beginning.
I had it all sus before I come in here. I was just gonna thump you and tell you...
What?
We can fight everybody in our minds, can't we? The things I was gonna do to you. You'd murder me.
Why should we fight?
Karen.
Oh.
Come on. You don't need her. The likes of you can get anyone. She's all I've got, right?
Gin and tonic, please. And one of those meat pies.
Look, there's nothing at all between us. Oh, don't get me wrong, I like her. And if she likes me, then I'm flattered. But that's all right.
And why does she go on about you?
Oh, for the same reason as I talk about her. Well, she's going through something I've been through. University. I can advise her, for God's sake.
Then advise her to stay.
Oh, that's it.
What?
Bad tactics, old son.
What are you talking about?
Well, you're frightened that's the last you'll see of her, right? She's going to go away to university and meet some exciting intellectual. And it's a dear John for dearest Andrew.
Look, I just came round here to tell you to leave it alone, that's all.
Bad tactics. And anyway, the last place on earth she'll meet an intellectual's at university. Look, if she wants to go, then she goes. And if that means you two split, well, then you split. But if you try to keep her here because you're scared of breaking up, then you're going to split all the sooner.
Well, you know what you can do with your advice, don't you? Stick it.
Sorry I'm late. Does the fort held successfully in my absence?
The general manager rang. Wants a word.
Oh?
He said he'd pop over.
What's it about?
He didn't say.
Trouble?
He didn't say.
Oh. Anything else?
Your wife rang. She hasn't received a checkbook yet.
What can I do about it?
She wants you to phone the bank.
Can she manage that?
I didn't like to suggest it.
Sorry.
I'll ring them when I get back, shall I?
Please. Nothing else?
Yes.
Well?
Afternoon post. It's from Woodward and Lynch.
Get them for me, please.
Now's not the time, I know, but could I have an extra quarter of an hour for lunch? I'm meeting someone.
Oh, that's fine. Has Brian Palmer got wind of this?
Hello? Mr. Woodward, please. Paul Collins, Petrochem.
Stephen? What in God's name are you playing at?
That's your change. And that's your receipt. Thanks.
So,
Hello.
all right.
Hiya. How are you?
Oh, great. I just feel a bit dizzy now and again, and I can't hear a lot in that ear either.
That's only when I ask him to do something.
You what?
What can I do for you?
Hey?
What can I do for you?
All right, I heard you the first time. We're back, aren't we?
Yeah.
We live here.
Not anymore, you don't.
That flat's mine just as much as yours.
No. You put money into the business. The flat was always mine. Well, now I need it for storage.
So what do we do?
Find somewhere else.
And you've been taking on extra staff as well?
I had to.
So where does that leave me?
Haven't a clue.
Cow.
Listen, I sweated blood to get this business going. And what happened? Him and his mate nearly ruined it. Well, never again, right?
I've got money in this.
If you want cash, come back tomorrow. If you'll take a cheque, you can have it now. I can't be messed about anymore. I'm sorry.
Hello, Paul.
Hiya, Brian.
Is that a genuine inquiry? If so, I'll probably bore you to death with details of my dirty ulcer.
You haven't.
Well suspected. Anyway, how are you?
Fine.
Annabelle?
Fine. Lisa mentioned that you wanted a word.
Yes. Well, it's a bit awkward, Paul, but... Well, people are getting worried about this Woodward and Lynch business.
There's no need. It's under control.
Yes, I'm sure it is. Have you seen this?
Well, how did you get this?
Your secretary gave me a copy.
Lisa?
There's no betrayal, Paul. I told her I wanted to see copies of all the correspondence between ourselves and Woodward and Lynch.
Could you tell me?
Why?
How does it look?
Look, I'm sorry, Paul, if I've hurt your feelings, but I haven't got time for these social niceties. Now, this piffling little business is rapidly getting out of hand. These little extras make that one of the most expensive tenders.
I realize that.
Well, what are you going to do about it?
Well, first of all, I'm going to get it checked out by the legal department.
There's no need.
What?
I've already done it. It is legal. Well, what else?
Well, I'm not sure. I've only just received it.
You know what it'll do to these bribery rumors?
Well, you'll hear no more of them, I can assure you.
Oh?
They emanate from Colin Peterson, the convener. It just so happens that I've got something on him.
And what's that?
He's stirring up trouble because of a personal grudge. He was sacked by Woodward and Lynch for brawling on the shop floor.
Who told you that?
Woodward and Lynch.
Have you checked it?
So no need.
Look, Paul. Colin Peterson was a much-respected shop steward for Woodward and Lynch. He was sacked for hitting a foreman who just insulted a black girl. It resulted in a 6-week strike, which was only resolved when the foreman was sacked. And Peterson was offered his job back. He didn't take it. He went full time into the union. The man's a bloody hero, Paul.
Is there?
Oh, hi. Hey. All right then, lads. All right, Karen?
Yeah.
Have you got it?
Got what?
The money?
Oh, that's, yeah. Here you go.
Oh, it's half bad. Not a bad one.
So, when do I get it back?
Tomorrow. Come on.
Hey, wait a minute. Rate of interest.
Oh!
Well, I'll lend you money. I want interest.
It's only $4 a day.
You're still taking a risk, though, aren't I?
How much?
I'll, settle for £1.
Oh, very good of you. Come on. See ya.
See ya.
Sit down.
Do you want a cup of tea?
Nah, no thanks.
I was just making one.
No, look, I've got something cooking.
Oh, all right then. I'll see you.
Bye-bye, Kevin.
See ya.
What?
He's funny.
Who?
Pat?
Are you making any tea?
Nah.
I'm gonna make it for him.
So?
Make it for me.
If you want to, go and make it yourself.
There are 3 issues. First, Woodward and Lynch are trying to pull a fast one. I think I can handle that.
You think?
I know. Secondly, there's all this talk about bribery. It's just a red herring, a smokescreen. The board can dispel that by giving me a full vote of confidence.
Yes.
Third, there's the fundamental issue of the subcontract itself. I need to know if the entire board's still behind me.
I'm not at all sure that they ever were.
You were at the meeting.
If I remember correctly, there was a vague consensus. We okayed it as long as you could get it through without any problems.
The vote of confidence, then?
There was no problem there. But to make it mean anything, we'd have to go through the motions.
I'm sorry. Can you explain?
Well, getting proof. Absolute proof that these rumors are unfounded.
What sort of proof?
Well, we'd have to look in your bank account.
You're not serious.
Yes, I'm afraid I am.
I don't believe this.
Come on, Paul. We're both too long in the tooth for these displays of outraged virtue. The union says you're on the take. If you're on the take, it would show in your bank account. Well, the simple but inexorable logic said that if you won't show us your bank account, well, then...
Carry on.
Well, if you won't show us your bank account, then according to Colin Peterson's logic, you've got something to hide.
They're trying to force me to resign.
Oh, for God's sake.
Well, that's what it means. To keep my job, I have to let you pry into my private affairs.
Resignation's a luxury you can't afford, Paul, for more than one reason. Besides, if you were to resign now, under a cloud, what would Colin Peterson make of that?
If I were fiddling, would I put it into my own account?
I told you we are just going through the motions.
I'll write you a letter of authorization.
Thanks.
Time was when a man's word was his bond.
Not when there's money involved, Paul. Not these days.
And when did he get back? A couple of hours ago. He looks great.
Sound as a pound. Hey, what's all this?
Leaflets.
Who did them?
I got them printed special.
How much?
I'm going to go and see George tomorrow. Going to show one to him. Hey, wait till you see this.
A petition?
6,842 names. And you see this one here, McCormack? Her brother is married to a girl whose sister's married to the brother of an MP. I might meet him next week. I'm going to London. Gonna present this at number 10.
Downing Street?
Well, unless she's moved to Petticoat Lane.
You fancy him, don't you?
What?
Him, Pat.
He's a friend.
You fancy him?
Grow up.
So you mean to say you don't?
I don't.
You don't think he's good looking?
Of course I think he's good looking.
So you fancy him?
Do you think he's good looking?
He looks like he's just walked out of the catalogue.
Do you think he's good looking?
No.
Then why are you jealous of him?
I'm not jealous.
Yes, you are. You're jealous because you think he's good looking. So do you fancy him?
Don't talk soft.
No, and neither do I. I think he's good looking, but I don't fancy him, so forget it.
That's why you're going away, isn't it?
Well,
Because he's been telling you to, and you do whatever he says.
look, I think you're going a bit too far, lad.
Well, you're wasting your time because he doesn't fancy you.
I'll survive.
He never has fancied you, he told.
Come on, what? What? No, all.
He told me.
What?
I asked him.
When?
Yesterday, I went to see him.
About me?
Yeah, I just wanted to know if he was after you, that's all.
You asked him that?
He said he wasn't.
Get out.
I went to see him because every time you look at him, you kill me.
Get out.
You should stop rowing like this.
Get out.
Look, I'll put your present.
You can keep your present. If you don't get out now, I'm going to get somebody to throw you out.
Just try it on.
Are you going?
Just try it on.
Oh, you miserable get. You can take your 30 bob Paddy's Market watch and you can stick it.
Yes. Yes, thank you very much. Goodbye. Take a seat, Paul. And no more calls, please. Well, we've been on to your bank, and I'm pleased to say that everything's in order, Paul. Just as I knew it would be.
They didn't tell you about my Swiss bank account, then?
Things are difficult enough, Paul, please. I can understand you feeling aggrieved.
Aggrieved, Brian? I feel raped.
Well, I'm sorry to have to tell you it isn't over yet.
What?
We discovered that Annabelle has recently opened an account.
Yes?
Well, you know what I've got to ask you.
It's a pittance.
Well, then there's no problem.
Did my bank tell you this?
Oh, does it matter?
Why, yes. How dare they divulge details of my wife's account?
Wasn't your bank.
Who then?
Lisa.
Lisa?
She's your personal secretary. We had to question her.
And she told...
She had no option. Look, Paul, you told me yourself that if you were on the take, you wouldn't put it in your own bank account. Now, will you tell me where Annabelle got the money from and how much?
No. Money.
There you go.
Have fun. What?
What are we supposed to do now?
What about you? I'm going for a cup of tea.
Joking, aren't you? Aren't we supposed to shift them?
You need a set of wheels.
We haven't got any.
Tough. By the way, where do you think they're selling them?
In town, down Church Street.
Tired of living, are you?
How do you mean?
They've all got their own pictures down there. You end up beside one of them.
What do we do then?
Well, see me.
How much?
Just so happens, I've got this cracking little round. It's only available. But the fellow who had it made so much money, he took it at retirement. It's yours for a £5.
I was skint.
Tough.
Look, just keep an eye on these, will you? You'll be back.
Without the confidence of the board, the subcontractor scheme is finished.
I suspect it's finished already.
Without the confidence of the board, you're finished. Oh, if it stopped there, I could accept it, Paul. A man sacrificing his job for the point of principle. But it won't stop there. Paul Collins will be deemed to have left because he was on the take.
My wife opened an account because she'd started a little business. She cooks food for people, parties, that sort of thing.
Why didn't you say so?
What would Colin Peterson think of that? The plant manager's wife, somebody else's skivvy? May I go now, Brian?
Yes, of course.
So, how are you getting on?
I'm all right. I miss him, though.
You could do with a man around.
It's George I want.
Yeah, but don't you get a bit nervous in the night, like?
George was on nights for donkey's years, wasn't he? I'm used to it.
Yeah, but if you had a man around...
I'll have a man around. George. I'm going to get him out. Don't believe me, do you?
Of course we do.
Yeah, it's just that, well, he isn't going to be out next week, is he? So we thought, like, if you're feeling lonely, well, we could move in with you.
Oh, I don't deserve people like you. Thanks.
So we'll move in then, eh?
No.
Hey?
Couldn't do it here. You've got your own lives to lead.
You don't mind, honest?
No.
We want to.
No.
We're going to have to move in, Marie. We've got nowhere else to live.
Oh?
Celia's chucked us out.
Well, you had me fooled for a minute there.
Mr. Peterson to see you.
Yes?
Yeah, we've formally set out our position.
You wait outside, please.
What?
Please. The general manager questioned me about my wife's bank account.
I had to tell him, Mr. Collins. He pays my wages. I work for you, but he pays my wages.
Who did you have lunch with, Lisa?
A friend?
Anyone I know?
No.
You can go now.
Pardon?
Home.
It's only 3:15.
Go home, Lisa. Send Mr. Peterson in.
No.
Look, we've been talking to Betty, and your rates are overdue. Your lecky's nearly getting cut off, and all this printing's costing you a fortune, so you could do with the money.
I'm going to be getting some money off the social after all. 40 quid or so. Got a letter this morning. Anyway, you haven't got any money.
Michelle has.
At the Tola?
How much?
Whatever you think's fair.
Would you mind the kids every now and then?
No.
Yeah. Every now and again.
All right.
Sound? What? Oh, yeah.
What?
Well, there's two of us, isn't there?
Go away.
So, can we have the double bed?
No!
All right.
That bed's sacred.
Yeah, but you don't need it, do you?
You've defiled it once, leaving your underpants in it. Never again, no.
We'll pay you a couple of quid extra.
You can use your own sheets.
Did you land it? Yeah. I want it all back tomorrow. You'll get it.
David, bring that back here right now.
I can't. I'll explain later, all right?
Mr. Peterson, I suspect you've won. I congratulate you on your victory. But don't ask me to applaud your tactics. In the short term, you've kept a few of your members happy. In the long term, we're all losers, because no one survives in an inefficient factory. Oh, we'll shed labor for greater productivity. Greater productivity for greater profits. Greater profits for more investment. More investment for more jobs. That's what this damned country needs. A vibrant, growing economy that can provide us with schools, hospitals, pensions, everything society needs. I don't see any other way. Look, I care. I don't want to sack anybody. I know only too well how it hurts. But it must be done in the interests of all. This may sound like old-fashioned Toryism, Mr. Peterson, but it isn't. It's simple economics. And there's no other way.
Oh, it's simple, all right. A vibrant economy, schools, hospitals, pensions. That kind of Toryism's not just old-fashioned these days. It's extinct. If it ever existed at all.
Hiya.
All right, Sam.
What are you doing that for? It's Kate's job, isn't it?
Yeah, well, nothing better to do. There's a letter there for you, love.
Glasgow?
Yeah. Hey, Sam, have you got any money on you?
Aye.
Well, could you lend me a brownie?
Eh?
A tenner. I lent Damon Grant some money, but it's left me a bit short.
Aye, all right.
Seems set to corner the market in plastic bags, are Damon. Gonna line his pockets by lining other people's bins. You all right?
from her.
Eh?
My husband's fancy piece.
What does she want?
Says she's coming down to talk to me.
When?
Next week. Cheek of a bitch.
Tina, sunny weather. I can't make it out. Do you know her? Oh, what are you doing?
What?
You're smoking in the living room.
Away with you.
Sam, we made a rule.
For God's sake, Pat, give us a break. My nerves are on edge.
Every time the going gets rough, you reach for a cigarette.
I'll kill her.
She's only coming down to talk.
Talk? I'm going to wipe the floor with her. Shouldn't it be too difficult? Living with him for a couple of months. We used to be in a punch bag by now.
Oh.
Where are you going?
Out.
But I need to talk.
Yeah, and I need to breathe.
For God's sake, Pat. That marriage certificate's my bit of revenge for the years he treated me like a doormat. She thinks I'm going to tear it up for her or anyone else. She's got another thing coming. I'm going to wipe the floor with her.
Could have another one, are you?
What do you think?
Sorry, must be the coat.
No, Damon, it isn't the coat, it's me. If any bright spark at that clinic today mentions exercises, I think I'll brain them.
Why?
Because you need the energy to do them, and the muscles to do them with, and I don't have any, they've gone.
But that says you can get your muscles back. In good shape, I mean, if you exercise.
Yeah, well, that's wishful thinking on his part. Does your friend have to do that?
Gizmo used to, didn't he?
Yeah, well, tell Gizmo's ghost we've got a front door.
Hey, Gizmo's still down in London with his girlfriend. He's gone. Must be getting well stuck in there. Hiya. Hello. So that's cool.
Hello? Oh. Hello, Matt. No. No, I was expecting it to be Bob. Oh, didn't Teresa tell you? No, he's in London on a course at the TUC. Well, she can't now. Oh, I see. No, it's only my test today. But listen, the baby's having a 6-week test tomorrow. Can she make that? Could you? All right, love, thanks.
What's up?
It was Matty. Teresa's mother's had a fall. She can't come with me to the clinic. Just when I'd got everything organised. Teresa holds the baby while I get examined.
Be all right. A nurse will hold the baby.
It's not that simple, love. Blood test in one place, strip off in another, see the doctor somewhere else again.
Damon. Maybe you could take the pram.
I'm going on the bus, love. Your father being otherwise engaged.
So, you won't have the pram then?
No, love, just one whinging baby.
You do like her, don't you, Mum?
What?
Well, I mean, you always seem to be calling her. If you're ratty, she is. It stands to reason, doesn't it?
Oh, yes, love, I know that. Has she got bellyache? Maybe I'm not feeding her properly. Can't she sleep at night, Mrs. Grant? Well, maybe she's picking up your tension. I know, love, I know. All down to me, 24-hour service.
Expect it's a bit tiring, Mrs. Grant.
That, love, is an understatement.
Oh, hell. Oh, calm down. The woman doesn't care whether the place is tidy or not. She just wants to marry your husband.
You imagine what he said to her about me? Oh, God.
Here goes. You count to 10, I'll answer the door.
Oh,
hello.
sorry, me. I wanted to ask you a favour.
Yeah, sure, come on through.
Thanks a lot. It's baby mind, really. Only it'd only be for a couple of hours. This friend of mine...
Yeah, that's fine.
Oh,
that's okay. Just as long as I can do it here.
Oh, yes, thanks.
Oh, it's not so bad that I need you in the house, Kate.
I want to be here, okay? It's fine.
Are you
honestly.
sure?
Yes.
Oh, I'm very grateful, love. She's in a carry cot. Everything's packed up.
Yeah, sure. I'll be able to pick her up in a minute.
Oh, well, I've got a bottle sterilised and
Look,
there's some
it's
water
okay.
to
I can handle it.
All right, okay.
All right.
Thanks very much.
Okay. Bye.
Well, there goes an anxious lady.
Oh, getting examined, isn't she? A lot of them aren't too keen on the internal. It's those plastic fingers groping them about. Anyway, look who's talking.
It's not so bad that I need you here.
Come off it, Sandra. You were ready to murder the woman. Talk about baby mind. It's you need minding the most.
I'm still married to him. I think I'm being very generous. Some people wouldn't even have her in the house. Oh, God. That's all we need.
Well, what's happened?
Guess who's arrived?
Oh, why is it so cold in here? It feels really cold and damp.
Well, far from preparing for us coming home, buying in and making the place nice and cosy, I think Roger the lodger's left home. There's the card you sent him. Obviously, it hasn't been read.
Well, perhaps he's gone home for a few days. It doesn't mean to say he's gone for good.
Maybe he's got another woman.
Hiya. In here, Marie.
The door was open and this was on the step.
Oh, thanks, love. Honestly, Edna, me new pullover.
It's not new. It was a hand-me-down from our Kevin.
It's new to me and it's worth a few bob.
Oh, I wouldn't worry. The local robber's locked up.
Now, that's a bit uncalled for. Anyway, he'll be out shortly, won't he?
He's already lost a month's remission. And the way things are going, he stands to lose more. He's got 12 months suspended and he might end up serving some of that.
Will you sit down and have a cup of tea?
No tea, thanks, love. I just came round about this. It's a petition about George. I'm taking it to number 10 tomorrow.
Number 10? That's escalating things a bit.
Well, things have been while you've been away. They might not have heard down south, but even they'll be hearing soon.
Harold?
Oh, no, it's all right. I know how he feels. I wouldn't ask. Thanks anyway.
I don't sign anything without thought, because things can catch up to you in this society.
Yes? Ian's friend. I wrote to you from Glasgow. Didn't you get the letter?
Oh, yes, as a matter of fact, it did come in. Let me take your coat.
Oh, thank you.
Come in and have a seat.
I don't know how much Ian said about me.
Not a great deal.
What's up? There's been some cock up here. We paid £5 to get first call on Swinburne Street, and it's been done. Someone's been round.
Oh, no.
Anyway, you're that quick. What happened to your patch?
Same. Been done. Well, Friday, but they all stocked up.
That fella saw us coming.
It's right that way over by the park. Lots of young mums there with babies, and babies mean loads of rubbish.
Oh, yeah. That reminds me. What's the time? This pram's got to be back before me manners. Oh, hang on. Steer that way, will you?
Why?
That woman, she's from our close.
She'll think the baby's changed.
It's
hard for me to understand. I mean, how after all this time you can still feel so much dislike towards him.
Let's just say I don't care for his style. Perhaps you don't know yet.
I think maybe I see him differently.
Oh, I'm sure you do.
I mean, I think that deep down he doesn't think so highly of himself. I think he needs a great deal of respect.
Let's just say I don't go for guys that kick me in the teeth and then try and lord over me. But then I'm just from Glasgow.
Oh, sorry.
Kate, this is Hina Narayan.
Oh, Hina Narayan. Thought it was Tina, couldn't read your writing. Pleased to meet you.
Hello.
I'm Kate. Oh, and this in here is Claire Grant, aged 6 weeks. I'll go and put her in the kitchen.
Why not upstairs?
Well, I might not hear her up there. And anyhow, I've got the oven on, it's warm. And I'll make some tea.
So how long have you been here, then?
Oh, for some time. My parents died when I was small, and I was brought up by my grandmother. Then, when she was ailing, I came over here to stay with my uncle. But I could not stay and stay. And then I became a student.
Just as a way of staying on? Legally, I mean.
Not at all. I had the college place. My uncle is a pharmacist in Glasgow. He could provide. I studied biochemistry, and then when my studies ended, I was fortunate enough to get a job. I applied to the Department of Employment. Well, they said I could stay for a year, but only a year. Of course, if I was to get married...
You get to become a British citizen. Year's up, is it?
No. No, there are still 3 months to go. I was a lab assistant, and now, through no fault of my own, I've been made redundant. Without a job, you see, they would not let me stay. I'm very fond of Ian. I think our marriage would be very happy.
Excuse me, I think I'll go and help Kate make the tea.
You've calmed down a bit. That was turnabout, isn't it?
Careful, I stand you time to think.
I bet I know what's happening. Her uncle, Sandra. Her uncle wants to keep her in the country. He's not short of a bob or two, so he thinks he can get her married off. My mother had a friend who was deported. Worked for a whole year cleaning out the muck and sickle for the NHS.
Keep your voice down.
What happened, Sandra? You were going to wipe the floor with her. Scared she thinks you're prejudiced. Afraid you can't bawl her out because she's coloured.
You keep your nose out of it. Hell, Kate, it's none of your business.
Comes down to colour there, doesn't it?
Oh, Kate, it bloody doesn't. At least I'm bloody well prepared to listen to her. That's more than you. You're not, because she's middle class, and that's what you don't like. Hell, Kate, that's prejudice as well, you know.
Well, eh? And where's the lady of the house, or is that you?
If you mean Marie, she's out.
Oh, out a lot, Mrs. Jackson. Puts herself about a bit.
So what?
So it's come to my notice. Well, I'm sure you're going to invite me in, hot chocolate would be nice, made in the pan, whisked a bit. Cos it me, eh, Terry, lad?
Your uncle must have clicked when Ian kept coming into the shop. I mean, what did he think?
It's true. He didn't understand at first. But when he met Ian and talked with him, then he allowed us to go out together. I'm all he has.
You're joking. Have you not met Ian's family? There's a whole tribe of them up there. Thinks the sun shines out of him and I'm the villain of the piece.
I meant my uncle. Oh. And now he lives under this great threat that I might be deported. I'm in your hands. Please, you have to understand.
Oh, I understand, all right. You're living under a threat. And you've got the nerve to come here and threaten me. You're holding a pistol to my head.
It isn't like that, really.
If you don't say yes to a divorce, it'll be too late before I'm thrown out the bloody country. That is emotional blackmail.
I love him, though.
Oh, I'm sure you do. Maybe I will agree one day. In my own time. When it feels right for me.
I'll get it. I only have 3 months, though.
Well, find yourself another job. It shouldn't be too difficult.
Hello. Come for the rent. What have you done to this place?
Like it?
I don't. I think it's horrible.
Excuse me, I've got a baby to rock.
What have you turned this place into? A disco by night and a nursery by day.
There's only one baby. And before you ask what colour it is, it's white.
That never even crossed my mind. I'm just looking at the state of this place. You do realise you've contravened the agreement, don't you?
Sorry, Mr. Cross. What's that I heard about an agreement?
That's right. No alterations to the decor.
Oh, no. It says that when we leave, we have to leave the decor as we found it. Not leaving now, though, are we? And when we do, we will change it back.
You won't be able to, will you? Because you've gone too far, that's why. Because nothing will cover this up. It's desecration, this is. Desecration.
Excuse me. I have to go. I have a train to catch.
My pleasure.
What do I say to Ian?
Just say I won't be bullied.
But it was my idea to come.
Well, I'm sorry. You've had a wasted journey.
So how are you feeling now then, Terry?
What?
Come through, will you? I can't talk to the back of your head, can I?
What?
Your accident. Mending all right? No problems then?
A few. Get a few headaches and get a bit giddy now and again.
Oh, I must tell Victor that. Of course, he's still banged up, you know. Yeah, I don't know when he'll come to trial. He doesn't know when he'll come to trial. Yeah, it gets him down sometimes.
Why tell Victor?
Might feel sorry for you. Mine. And again, he might feel a certain sense of justice. What do you think?
I think it's sick you talking about justice.
Now, don't get excited. Could bring on a very nasty headache, that could. So how's Barry doing then, eh? All right. I'm glad. But you get headaches?
No.
Yeah, and you wouldn't tell me if you did. But I'm talking to you, and you wouldn't tell me if you did.
My God, you've got a nerve. Out!
Now, just wrap up.
Get out of my house!
This came through my mother's door this morning, and I just have to warn them kids off.
You might have warned them off, but not me!
This filth, this excrement came through my mother's door.
Do you think your mother doesn't know about you?
You know everything about your kids, do you? Eh? Know where they are, for instance? Now? 24 hours a day, keep constant watch, do you? Because you better.
My God, if you touch my kids...
My name's muck in the city because of the lies you're spreading about me, and it doesn't suit, see?
Well, you should have thought about that before you set my George up.
Seen him lately, have you?
Why?
Things can get very rough in my game. Very rough. Terry will tell you that. But that's nothing compared to what can happen inside a prison.
You dare.
Eh?
You bloody dare!
Yeah, well, he's moved to Averick now, hasn't he? You can't get him in there like you could do in Walton.
Wrong, Terry. That's where you're wrong. Dead wrong. But then why should I bother, eh, when I know the screws will do it for me? Because if I was a screw, I know how I'd feel about some little Bert the media were puffing up and saying shouldn't be in there. If I'm the jingle-jangle man, if I'm the key holder, huh? Makes me out to be a bit of a wally, doesn't it? Right, Teddy? He knows he's been educated. Go to the comp, do they?
Oh, right, that's it!
George, hey, little George and Gary, go to the comp. Nice for them. Very ironic. You may think I'm rotten to the core, but I'm the apple of my mother's eye. So you jack it in, eh? Just lay off.
Terry's a witness. He's heard you threatening my kids.
Him? He's got hearing problems. Now, look, I got to this before my mother did this morning. So luck's on your side, for now.
For God's sake, if you go and get out.
Yeah, I'm going. But I'll tell you what, Mrs. Jackson. Tell you what's really sad. The tragedies, you know, could be avoided. They really break a mother's heart. So, look after yourselves, eh?
I just couldn't be sure that she'd be all right. I couldn't allow myself to think of her with any real affection. Before she was born, I mean. In case it all went wrong. In case it all came to some horrible end. Clothes. Names for her. I just wouldn't entertain the thought.
She's fine. She's been no trouble. How about you?
I'm fine. They say I am. A bit tired, of course.
Did you tell them at the clinic that you felt depressed?
I'm tired. When I catch up on my sleep, I'll be fine. No problem.
I'm not signing this because I've changed my mind. Not fundamentally. It's because what you're saying about him getting a raw deal in jail.
Just so long as you know it's an empty gesture.
Beg your pardon?
Well, I won't be going down to London now.
Why not?
Why not? You were here, you ought to know.
Don't let McCardle scare you off. Not you, Marie, not now.
Will somebody tell me what's going on around here?
Threats have been made against me. And against my kids. And George stands to get in trouble in prison. It gets to the point where it's just not worth it. Just seems to do more harm than good. I mean, where's it got us so far, eh? It's set the waters against George and it's brought that pig round here.
Yeah, but think what it's going to look like if you back down now, after there's been all this fuss. It's like McCardle's won, isn't it? And you can't want that.
I'm frightened, Terry.
So was I, to come downstairs after the accident. But you made me, didn't you? You stopped with me and watched me try.
That was different.
All I'm saying is I'd stand by you. Go to London tomorrow. I mean, me and Michelle can mind the kids. Or we could go to London with you if you wanted.
No, Rick and Betty would be with me anyway.
That's another thing, isn't it? How are they going to feel if you back down now?
Look, you'll have to excuse me. We've got a problem. Ralph's disappeared. We've been ringing his house, but all we get's a funny noise on the phone.
That's a number unobtainable. You better call the operator.
Right, I'll do it now. But before I go, love, about this petition. The reason I came over to sign it, or one of the reasons, I knew it was going to the top. And if it doesn't go to the top, you'll never know what you could have achieved. So if you give up now, love, and that petition is not delivered, what are you going to be left with, eh? A load of might-have-beens.
He's got a point there.
All right, I'll go. I'm terrified of McCardle. But I'll go.
Off. She didn't look as though she got a Mac or an umbrella to me.
Edna, this egg's cracked. Soft boiled, I said, Edna. This has gone 5 minutes over.
I'm sorry, Harold. I didn't sleep very well last night. I kept thinking I could hear Ralph.
Calling to you, was he, from the other side?
That's not funny.
Oh, come on, girl. Just because he left you some half-baked note.
And the telephone.
Out of order, so what? He's probably taken off for a few days. I'd like to think it was for good, so long as he's all right. You know, when we were down at Captain's, it made me realise I should have you on my own for a bit. That's the way it should be with man and wife.
I know what you mean, Harry, but wouldn't we miss him, though?
Maybe we'd miss a gardener.
And a decorator.
What did I tell you? Breakfast time. He's tired, that's so he'll get my egg.
Ralph.
Hello.
Well, where have you been?
Welcome home.
I know. I'm sorry.
Well, what possessed you to leave that batty note?
And we had no idea where you'd gone to. Your girlfriend has been going frantic. You even had me worried.
Yeah, I'm sorry about that. I just wasn't myself. Look, I will explain it to you, but later, eh? When I've got my bearings.
When you've had some breakfast.
Here we go. Good luck. Wait for us if you're on the tally. Oh, God, that's a thought. Give him the tea at 6 o'clock. Half an hour on number 5. What? The cottage pie. See ya.
It's a course about pensions or pension funds. Bob wasn't too wild on going. Leastwise, he said he wasn't. Because it depends what the company's like down there.
Oh, I know. They put the world to rights in the bar, and that bit's not too terrible.
If the company's right, I know. That's what I'm thinking. Oh, no, what's this? Bills, circulars. Valentine card.
Who be Grant? Someone after your Barry.
Penny for them.
Spoils you, this. Being whooshed along, sightseeing through the window. Makes you realise it's nice. It's a really nice country. You know, the trees and the fields and that. I
think we're going to have to move, you know, nearer to George.
He'll be out soon.
It's right along the sea, you know, Average Prison. If he escaped, you'd like us not be drowned.
Think positive, Marie.
It's true. It's the loveliest beach you can imagine. And the seaweed gives you leukemia.
Well, I think that we'll get somewhere today. Unless things happen in London, they might as well not happen at all.
So unreal. I mean, here I am, sitting here, going to London, but it's like it isn't me. It's like I'm being carried along somehow.
You are, quite efficiently, courtesy of British Rail.
By the campaign, I mean. Sometimes think she cares about it more. And you want to make a name for yourself.
Well, it isn't simply just that.
I don't mind you using me. It's the nature of your job. Then I'm using you as well. It's never been real, you know. From the minute them fellas burst in our house and asked to see George. And even now. It's never been real.
It's just that with you away, the loneliness got to me, I suppose. And then I thought of something you'd once said about how I'd not faced up to it. You know, the empty bungalow, Grace not coming through the door.
Well, it was the bereavement, really. That's what Harry meant.
I know. So I decided to go back home to our old place and stay there for a while. However uncongenial, I thought I ought to try it. It didn't work out, though. I couldn't take it.
Too many memories, I suppose.
Aye. Especially at night. Still sleeping on one side of the bed. Reaching out of habit. Finding no one there.
Oh, Ralph.
Well, you can cut that out. It's him that's been bereaved, not you.
It'll be me one day, Harold.
Oh, don't start that. Trying to put me into an early grave.
Well, I'll tell you something, Harold. If you went first, I wouldn't last much long after. I wouldn't see any point in doing the things we'd always done, not without you to share them. I'd just give up.
That's just how I felt. And that's why I'm so very grateful to you both. You've given me something to live for.
Five for 30p. Top quality.
Sorry, love, not today.
Oh, all right.
She's out, gone down the precinct.
Oh, ta.
I might have need for some next week.
Next week? Who knows where we'll be? Canary Islands. Filming in Miami.
You wouldn't want to earn a few bob, would you?
Us? Nah, we do this for the suntan. We're not the bobber job sort, though.
No, I could run to more than that. He's working all the hours God sends. Might as well get some benefit.
Tell us what we have to do first, eh?
Well, I've just rung the cleansing department for them to come and fetch some rubbish for me, but it's got to be shifted out the garage.
Heavy or what?
There's an old fridge that's awkward. The rest is jumble, really. Junk.
Go see.
You wouldn't find it difficult. Not a big lad like you.
Sheila, how come you got this pram mattress like this?
She? Sorry, love, what did you say?
How come you got the pram mattress so mucky?
I don't know. Our Karen must have dropped it. You know, exams, Andrew mooning around after her. She's got this casual approach to baby minding.
Well, I've rinsed the nappies out. Come on, let's get this bed made. Where's your clean sheets?
In the airing cupboard.
You did right to go early to the clinic, She. Beat the queue, didn't it?
I hope Bob rings tonight. He knew she went for a test this morning.
Oh, you didn't tell me. How'd you get on at the postnatal yesterday?
All right, everything's gone back in the right place. And there they were, examining me with one hand and trying to shove a coil in with the other.
Well, they don't know, do they? I mean, Catholics vary so much. I'd better be safe than sorry.
Well, all the same, it annoyed me. Just assuming I'd say yes.
It's after 6 weeks that we think people will be getting going again.
They're welcome. I'm sleep-starved, not sex-starved.
Oh, I must admit, I needed a bit of coaxing after our Joe was born. Stitches, piles, ooh, and the beggar that sewed me up. Oh, but Matt was smashing, though. He's that gentle, she. After all these years, and I still think he's lovely.
Bob's changed, you know, since he got this job.
I've not noticed.
He's hobnobbing with the bosses. Talking to all these graduates. Janet Hanson, for instance. She's a graduate. Equal opportunities. Sexual discrimination, that's what she's supposed to represent. She could very well have been at this meeting. I mean, pensions, that's another place women miss out on. She could very well be there.
What does it matter?
Oh, it matters to Bob. I would think it mattered very much as to whether he's enjoying himself or not. I mean, she can speak to him, can't she? She hasn't got a nose in a nappy bucket.
Bob would never.
Wouldn't he? Or if somebody led him on? Sent him a Valentine card, for instance.
It's for your Barry.
B. Grant. That could be Bobby.
Well, she wouldn't send it here, would she? She'd give it him at work. On any road, a woman like you describe wouldn't be bothered with Valentines.
What would she be bothered with, Teresa? Getting him into bed?
Oh, she...
I am! All I know is I've got Madam here hanging off me half the day and half the flaming night as well. I mean, he's down there with her, and I'm going under here, and he's having a wonderful time. It isn't fair, Teresa. It isn't fair.
We've put all the junk round the side for the bin men.
Thanks. The garage could do with a proper clean-out. You could do it when you call next week.
Eh?
You know, you said you'd come round with the bin bags.
Oh, yeah. Forgot.
Do you always go round in a pair?
Well, as a rule, yeah.
Should strike out on your own sometimes. You never know.
What does your husband do?
Taxi driver. We're saving up to move.
Oh, this is all right.
Oh, dead in the day. The desert. You know, kids off at school.
Still, gives you time to make some nice soup, eh?
One way to warm a person up. There are others, of course. Still, you're probably just as bad as Jack. Long as you make a bob or two, most important thing in life.
No, not to me it isn't.
We might see eye to eye.
Yeah, I think we would.
I gave your friend the money.
Yeah, I know. That's great.
See ya.
Yeah, see ya. Ta-da.
What's up with you? Oh, yeah. Gave you the come on, did she? That happened to me once. Then, just as I started to strip off, she threatened that she'd go and call her son. And it turned out that she was 36 years old. I mean, my ma's only 38. I told her it would be as bad as incest.
Oh, beat it. She's not like me, Mum. She's lovely and neglected by her husband.
You learn from what happened to me.
Oh, she's ace.
Get off.
What's wrong? Shut the button, Dick.
Oh, don't be soft. You tell me that she's going to put out. What the hell does she expect?
Sorry, missus.
You don't even know a stupid name.
Oh, shut it, will you, Neil?
Bought you a nice cup of tea.
Oh, thanks. Where is she?
She's in her cot asleep.
What about her feed?
Well, what about it? I found that bottle at Express back of the fridge.
I hope you've put her on her side.
She's on her side. I've winded her, I've done her bum. And she's warm.
God knows how much air she'll have swallowed. Wait till tonight. She'll start screaming then. Always gets colicky about 6 o'clock.
Come on, she, snap out of it. I've done you a favour to let you sleep. And all I get is one long moan. It's not like you, she. The same as thinking bad things about Bob. I mean, how could you?
How? Well, look at me. I mean, who could blame him if he... I don't know.
Well, I do. He knows it's hard for you. He's not that daft. It's hard work and it's bound to show. Bobby knows that.
Yes, but he's so busy at the moment. I don't think he's even noticed how down I am.
Well, talk it over then.
Yes, but every day begins with nappies, each and every day. I mean, she'll fill a nappy when I'm going out just to spite me.
Hey, shh. You'll get to love her, she, in the end. It'll come. I know it will.
Hey, Mr. Cross, help us to break in, will you? We could climb in off your shoulders.
Burglar house? Are you two daft or what?
Well, look, Doctor, we'll have to break in, won't we? Yeah, because the boiler packed up in our school, so we were sent home early.
Come and see Ed and she'll fix you up. Come on, I'll race you.
What's to do?
The boilers and their school's packed in and they've sent them home. There's nobody in over there.
Well, there wouldn't be, would there? Not with Marie in London.
What about Terry and Michelle?
Gone off just with Pat and Sandra.
Well, we'll have to mind them then.
Well, they can play outside. It's not too cold.
Can we go in the woods?
Yes, but be careful.
Thanks.
I wish I'd got their energy.
What
time is it now?
Hi, stay a little bit longer.
But you said a lunchtime drink, not boozing half the afternoon.
Well, this was for your benefit, you know.
Well, maybe you shouldn't have bothered.
Touch of the Scottish Puritans.
Grow up, Pat, you need talk.
What's that supposed to mean?
It's pretty boring sitting here with you doing your cheerful act. Pat's talking barrow boy.
Hey, now, look, just because you've got a guilty conscience, don't take it out on me, my love.
You know, you remind me of sitting there, sucking pint after pint.
Your ex, who you're still keeping on a hook, right? Just playing like some bloody fish.
I don't want him, believe you me.
Well, then let him go. Or what are you, Sam, a masochist or something? Some violence freak, is that it?
Well, that's one thing you are right about. Whilst I'm tied up with him, it hurts. It hurts all right, you're right there.
I'm sorry. But we've got to be going soon anyway. Her husband wants to marry this girl, right? But this Asian girl who stands to be deported. Well, why Sandra can't agree to the divorce? I'll be over then. I like the girl.
Sandra?
Yeah. And there she is, her own worst enemy. She's just torturing herself. God, it really cars me up.
Well, we've got to get back for the twins, you see.
I'll just be a minute.
God, I'm freezing. How long to go?
Well, about 5 minutes, then it'll be our turn.
This must be really boring for you after all that picket duty.
Betty?
Scargill fridges, Scargill cars, we know perks at job.
For God's sake, Betty, look, it's not fair to me or Marie, and it's not fair to George. So leave it out, eh? Otherwise, I'm not going to be allowed to go to the door.
She's not a relative, you know. It's only a mate from our old estate. I mean, I disassociate myself. Shut up.
I don't know why you still feel so bitter, really. Not after all this time.
Let's say school friends were going out of clubs, having money spent on seeing life. And there was me trapped in my bed at night, never daring to go out for fear he'd come in and dot me one. That was my late teens, my early 20s. He had them off me, no one else.
Yeah, but don't you see? It's not making you any happier, this holding out. It just seems like spite. Sorry, but it does.
I know that. Who knows? They might even get on. I mean, she's everything I'm not. She's meek, she's mild, she dance her tendons on.
I think it could get in your way, still being married to him. It isn't fair to other people if they want to marry you. I mean, even if they're just keen, it could still get in your way. You do want a fresh start. Maybe you don't.
Maybe I will agree. Perhaps I should.
Well, I honestly think so, and Pat does too, you know.
And Kate. And the would-be bride, Miss Pharmaceutical herself. It's a wonder I've held out so long. Yeah, all right. Do you, Sandra McGee, give in? Do you give Ian McGee his divorce? Hate and despise till death, etc., etc. In sickness in the national hell. Cheer up. Don't ever marry. Like I says, it'll never happen.
This is Free George Jackson.
Thank
That's
you.
the George Jackson of Brookside, West Derby, Liverpool, at this moment imprisoned in Haverhill Jail. Well, anyway, all the details are there, so thanks very much.
Go on.
Ah, come on, George, be fair. Give us an idea where you're at, or I can't get you, can I? George? George?
I'll get a kit tomorrow, test the soil for you, find out where it's deficient and in what.
In Newsman, you mean?
Yeah, nitrogen, phosphate, potash, lime.
Mr. Cross! They shot me brother, Mr. Cross! There's blood all over his face and he's gone down and he won't get up. And he's just moaning.
Shot?
You're having us on.
Come on, he won't get up to me.
I'll go. You phone an ambulance.
Vivid imagination, those kids. Hope they don't make a fool out of me and it's a false alarm.
That must be old Daddy. Let's go and have a look, eh? What's happening, Edna?
Little George has had an accident in the woods.
What's happened to him, mate?
He's all right. Don't panic. Don't panic. He's all right.
Look, I better go
Look,
to the
I can
hospital
go.
with
It's
him.
no trouble for me to go.
No, it's all right.
Are you sure?
Yeah. Look, I'll go to the hospital with him and you'll have to tell Marie. All right? He'll be all right, don't worry.
Hey, wipe that daft smile off your face, you. You look like some tart in a film that's just... Rick's right, you know. I know he is. It'll all go for George now.
It's been a turning point.